CD2. This is the Cambridge Preliminary English Test, number 3. There are 4 parts to the test. You will hear each part twice. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 6 minutes at the end of the test to copy your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any questions now because you must not speak during the test. Now open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 7 questions in this part. For each question, there are 3 pictures and a short recording. Choose the correct picture and put a tick in the box below it. Before we start, here is an example. What's the time?
Have you got the time?
Yes, it's 3:20.
The first picture is correct, so there is a tick in box A. Look at the 3 pictures for question 1 now. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. You will hear each recording twice. 1. Where is the station?
Excuse me, can you tell us the way to the station?
Take the second on the right, and it's at the end of that road.
Now listen again.
Excuse me, can you tell us the way to the station?
Take the second on the right, and it's at the end of that road.
2. Where did the woman put the calculator?
Have you used my calculator?
Yes. Can't you find it? I put it back on the desk.
Where?
Next to the lamp, I think. No, wait a minute. It's on that pile of books.
Now listen again.
Have you used my calculator?
Yes. Can't you find it? I put it back on the desk.
Where?
Next to the lamp, I think. No, wait a minute. It's on that pile of books.
3. Where is Helen?
Is Helen here?
Yes, she's over there, next to the man in the shorts.
Who's that with her?
Her brother, I think.
Now listen again.
Is Helen here?
Yes, she's over there, next to the man in the shorts.
Who's that with her?
Her brother, I think.
4. Which building was hit by lightning?
Did you hear the storm last night?
Of course. It was right over our apartment and seemed to hit something near the hotel.
Yes, the factory near the church was hit by lightning. It's lucky no one was at work.
Now listen again.
Did you hear the storm last night?
Of course. It was right over our apartment and seemed to hit something near the hotel.
Yes, the factory near the church was hit by lightning. It's lucky no one was at work.
5. What does the woman want to buy?
Now I've bought this skirt, I think I need some new shoes to go with it.
Can't you wear your boots?
No, they're too old. I think it would look better with flat shoes.
Come on then. Let's try that shop over the road.
Now listen again.
Now
I've bought this skirt, I think I need some new shoes to go with it.
Can't you wear your boots?
No, they're too old. I think it would look better with flat shoes.
Come on, then. Let's try that shop over the road.
Six. Which picture does the woman decide to send? My mother wants me to send her a photo of our new house. Which one shall I send?
This one is nice, with the children playing in the back garden.
I prefer this one, with you standing by the front door.
I'll send her that one, then.
Now listen again. My mother wants me to send her a photo of our new house. Which one shall I send?
This one is nice, with the children playing in the back garden.
I prefer this one, with you standing by the front door.
I'll send her that one, then.
Seven. Which hotel has the man chosen?
Have you decided which hotel you're going to stay in?
Oh, yes. It's the largest in the area. It's got 4 floors and it's right on the seashore. And there's an outdoor pool as well. So we'll be able to swim every day.
Now listen again.
Have you decided which hotel you're going to stay in?
Oh, yes. It's the largest in the area. It's got 4 floors and it's right on the seashore. And there's an outdoor pool as well. So we'll be able to swim every day.
That is the end of part 1. Now turn to part 2, questions 8 to 13. You will hear a radio interview with a man who works on an international camp. For each question, put a tick in the correct box. You now have 45 seconds to look at the questions for part 2. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. You will hear the recording twice.
Hi there. On last week's programme, we interviewed the man behind the idea of the international camps. So I thought that this week you'd be interested to hear more about one of the camps, which will be held later this year. Over to you, Michael.
Thank you. Yes, the camp is open to everyone between the ages of 18 to 23. You don't have to be a student. You don't even have to be employed. But you must be able to speak one foreign language in addition to your mother tongue.
OK. And what about accommodation?
Well, the international camp organisers supply tents which sleep up to 4 people. But you are unlikely to know the people who you'll be sharing a tent with. The nationalities are mixed, so you'll be sharing with people who may not even speak your language.
Sounds interesting. Who does the cooking at the camp?
Everybody is expected to help with the running of the camp. That means helping to prepare food, keeping the campsite clean and tidy, and so on. The camp organisers are looking for people who can get along with others, whatever happens.
And is there anything you need to take?
Well, as I've said, tents are provided, but you'll need to bring your own pillow, knife, fork and spoon. If you get chosen, you're also asked to bring along photographs, postcards, anything that shows some of the traditions and customs of your own country. Everything goes into an exhibition at the start of the camp together with a huge map of the world showing the different countries people come from.
And is there any entertainment?
Yes, there is. Everyone helps to provide the camp entertainment. You are expected to sing, dance, or play something musical. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are. There is a space on the form to write down what you can do.
Sounds great fun. And what does it all cost?
Well, you have to find your own way to the camp, so it's up to you whether you fly, cycle, walk, hitchhike, or whatever. The charge for a week's camp is $300, but you'll have to change that into your own currency to get a better idea of the cost. You have to pay the full cost before you arrive, but you can pay in any currency you want, or you can use a credit card if you have one. Right, now for the phone number to ring. It's 0124...
Now listen again. Now turn to Part 3, questions 14 to 19. You will hear a young woman who has applied for an office job talking about her jobs abroad. For each question, fill in the missing information in the numbered space. You now have 20 seconds to look at Part 3. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. You will hear the recording twice.
Hello, Miss Brownlow. Come and sit down. Now, I'd like you to tell me more about the 2 years you spent abroad after leaving school.
Oh, right. Well, I decided to go abroad to see the world. I only intended staying for 6 months, but in the end I stayed 2 years. First of all, I worked for a family. I looked after their 3 children, all under the age of 10, so I was kept very busy. I really liked the family, but after 6 months I was ready for a change, although I didn't want to come home. Then I applied for a job in a hotel as a receptionist. That way I could still practice my languages. And it was really good because I had my own room in the hotel and I had all my meals there as well. And then the hotel closed down. But the manager offered me a job in a bakery. It belonged to his brother, and I worked there for almost a year. At the beginning it was really hard because I had to get up so early in the morning, around 4 o'clock every day. But once I got used to that, it was great, because I'd finished work by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the rest of the time was my own. But my parents thought I ought to come home and get a proper job. I suppose they were right. So that's when I applied for the job with the Bank International in their foreign department, and so I continued to use my languages.
You've had quite a lot of experience, haven't you? Now, if I could ask you...
Now listen again.
Hello, Miss Brownlow. Come and sit down. Now, I'd like you to tell me more about the 2 years you spent.
Now turn to Part 4, questions 20 to 25. Look at the 6 sentences for this part. You will hear a conversation between a father and his daughter Sonia. Decide if each sentence is correct or incorrect. If it is correct, put a tick in the box under A for yes. If it is not correct, put a tick in the box under B for no. You now have 20 seconds to look at the questions for Part 4. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. You will hear the recording twice.
So, this time next week you'll be 18.
I can't believe it.
Neither can I. You don't seem a day over 10.
Thank you.
Anyway, have you thought what you'd like for your birthday?
Well, I wondered whether I could have driving lessons.
But we don't have a car.
I know, but it would be useful to know how for when I have my own car.
But you're still at school. How could you afford a car?
But most people in my class are having driving lessons.
Well, maybe their parents can afford a car. There's no point in having lessons if you can't practice.
Maria says I can practice with her family's car.
Oh, so you've discussed it with Maria. And I wonder what her parents would say if they knew. Do you know how much car insurance costs?
Yes, it's expensive. But I could get a job on Saturday or Sunday and help pay for it. If I could drive, I could probably get a job more easily. You know, delivering things or taking people to places.
Yes. Why not? My daughter Sonia with her own taxi service. Where do you think you're going to get a car?
I thought I would drive other people's.
Look, I know you want to be like your friends, but it's not sensible to think of driving until you can afford your own car. Why don't I pay for you to have a lesson so that you can see what it's like? And if the day ever comes when I'm rich, I'll be happy to help you buy a car. Now, what would you like for your birthday?
OK, Dad, you win. But I'd still like to begin saving. Anyway, until then, what I'd really like would be to go out to dinner with you and Mum to save Mum cooking.
That's a good idea. And I'll tell you what, we'll go by taxi.
Now listen again.